Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest, or this episode of the AzzCast. We talk about gaming, life in general, growing up in the gaming world, how games can affect you or help your mental health, and, you know, just the plans for life and the plans for future to see where you want to go. Today, we're joined by probably my closest friend that I have met and made on Twitch. There are hundreds of creators out there, but there's one that just sticks with you, and that is Coltz. He is here all the way from the other side of the world from us. He's in Australia, so even though it is 20 past 2 here right now, well, 25 to 3 in the afternoon here, it is probably 25 to midnight for you, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I appreciate you joining us, dude. Thank you for jumping in, having a chin wag, and, you know, just chilling out with us, dude. It's always a pleasure being able to jump into a call with you. For you taking your time out to do this, it just means so much more, dude. So thank you. How busy are you at the moment? We'll get into why you're busy, but how busy is your life in general right now?
Oh, we're not getting a lot of sleep, that's for sure. I'm pretty flat. Yeah, I'm pretty flat out. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be all too different from yourself, obviously. Like the grind in general for just being able to maintain it full time is
Just trying to stay afloat in
like,
content creation.
Yeah, and then like life out on top of that. So if you have life stuff on top of that, it's just absurd. And yeah, got a fair share of that coming and currently and yeah, just a lot of stuff, man.
So if anyone doesn't know who Coltz is or his background on Twitch or anything, I knew him from Escape from Tarkov. He got pretty big in Escape from Tarkov. He did really well. Also did really well in New World. Also did really well in Hunt Showdown. Also did pretty well in DMZ. So there seems to be kind of a pattern going on that any game that Coltz jumps into and, you know, sticks to and wants to grind, he does well every time. So that's my experience of Coltz. When did you start? How did you start? What made you start?
I started in February 2021.
Is that height of COVID?
It was like, yeah, it was like the ending sort of start of COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think it's February 2021. But it's weird. It's like I started then, but COVID sort of kicked back up like really hard towards the end of 2021 for us as well. So it was like a weird period where like everything was okay and then it ramped back up again not too long afterwards. So I guess you could say it was like middle of COVID. But I was working as a builder at the time. Like I was so I did early like so Australia, you have like your trade license. Obviously, I don't know how much it's the same in like the UK and in Wales and things like that. But it's 4 years, and I did like my first year and a half, 2 years while I was like in school through like a traineeship thing. Yeah. And then I just like really wasn't interested in it at all, so I did some other shit, and then I decided to go back to it while I was making music to get the trade, just so I could make coin while I was making music and like I just didn't have a job at the time, and it was just like tough because it was like mid-COVID, and I'd just left like a retail job that I was working at, and I was fucking over that. And, excuse my language, sorry.
You can swear,
I was
man.
bloody over that, and then yeah, I just I went back to do like my last 2 years, and then like they recognized prior learning me, which is like they can see like you've done it previously and stuff like that, and then it was through my mate's company too, so I was pretty lucky, and he was like, oh, it'll take you like a year and a bit like to get your full trade license. And I was like, yeah, sweet, no worries. Yeah, happy bloody days. You know, might as well get a trade. My parents and like my family are always like,
get a trade
my whole life, because they come from like military and like bloody like trade industry, like hard industries,
old school,
like everyone we know. So it's like, yeah, real old school, like bloody hard yakka blokes. Like I grew up raised by, like on my dad's side especially, and it was always like, you know, you get a trade, you've got like a safe background.
Yeah.
And so we've always been encouraged to do that. So outside of the box stuff was like not really on the cards. So even when I was like making music, and that was looking like it was going to be my career, that was like even scary, and people were a bit skeptical of that and stuff. And then I ended up like,
is it a real job? What's gonna happen? What's gonna pay the bills? Like.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
not even that, but just like I don't know. It was just they just always like there was just always this pattern of that. Like it was either in the military or like you get a trade. So that was a lot of what I grew up with, and I never wanted to do any of that shit. I remember I like out of school, I did landscaping and I did some sparky work, and I just hated it all. Like I was just like, I have no problem with hard work,
Mm-hmm.
but I've done like I grew up working on a farm, and I love manual labor to a certain extent, but I just
Yeah.
didn't want to do it my whole life. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just felt like I had way more imagination than that. So I would always like anytime I'd end up doing one of those jobs, I end up really depressed, like not proper depressed like clinically or anything like that at the time, but just like I just wasn't happy because
It's not what you wanted. You didn't see like
yeah,
going
it's
in a
just,
direction.
so I worked in like I worked in a factory. I've done like I did a few things, man. I studied like creative media for a year and a bit at uni, and then like deferred from that shit because it was like the problem with uni is like I feel like that you study everything but the thing that you actually want to study
100%,
in order to
dude.
get the degree.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
so I was
my
just like, what the
excuse.
fuck is this?
That's
This makes no
literally my
sense. So I just
excuse.
dropped out of that. I'm very much an advocate for like chasing things that you enjoy and what you like.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all gonna like it's real morbid, but like we're all gonna fucking die. So I'm here to do what I want
What
to
you
do while
want?
I'm
Yeah,
here. And as long as I can make ends meet doing it. And I kind of fell away from that ideology when I was doing building. And we moved to this new area, like this area that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And you know, this is back when I first got this job as a builder, and we moved down here, and I spent, you know, a couple of grand, all my savings and stuff, moving down here and set everything up, paid the bond and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Worked there for about 3 months, but we were promised like 3 years worth of work. Like there's all these new build projects and all this sort of shit around. And I started on this crew. Anyways, I hurt my finger because there was some scaffolding that I was like on while we were finishing a window like fitting like for houses,
Mm-hmm.
and we were doing checks and stuff, and like a dodgy scaffolding board like slipped underneath me, and I like fell, and like as I went to like catch myself, I like snapped this finger and this finger.
Oh no.
Like they're only little fractures, but it was like bad enough that it was like crooked, and I don't know if
Yeah.
you can like probably see they're like kind of crooked and fucked. It
Yeah,
looks,
yeah.
like, pretty cooked. But yeah, they both broke, and basically I couldn't work because like this is my hammer hand. Like that you builder, you hold a hammer. This is my hand. I hold that shit in and stuff. So I'm right-handed. So
Mm-hmm.
it was I couldn't work, and I couldn't like hold on to stuff, and basically I had to have a couple of weeks off. And this was the first area that I've ever lived in. I'm a pretty country kid, so like it's the first area I've ever lived in where like our internet was actually had the capability of streaming and doing things, you know. So I was like, oh, you know what? Like, bugger it. Like, while I'm off work, I'll play some video games and I'll stream it because, you know, maybe one of the boys who's not working at the moment can watch and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it, you know, be fun. And I just started doing it for fun, and I wanted to learn I learned a new game, and I'd been watching a little bit of Summit play Tarkov.
Okay.
And that led me to like a little bit of Pestily, but mostly watched Summit when he played Tarkov. I've been a Summit 1G fan for like the longest time, man. As a kid, man, like I never really thought about streaming or content creation, but I remember like watching him like quite a bit when he was like starting out and shit. And then, you know, obviously he's huge, he's an OG, and it's just so cool. So I've been a Summit like sort of entry out fan for like a while. So I watched a lot of Summit. And he's playing Tarkov at the time. So I was like, oh, this game looks bloody sick, you know, like I come from Counter-Strike, and I'd played like a bit of League of Legends, and I grew up playing Halo, and there's a whole like
so more of like an
Halo
arena
and Call of Duty and
FPS
stuff.
then.
Yeah, I got a huge background with FPS, man. It's like, so yeah, I was building, and fucked me finger up, started streaming Tarkov, mucking around, and people just started coming in, and I was just talking about like trading life. It was weird. And then I just started talking about, and I had like the most scuffed setup. Like obviously, you know what it's like when you first start.
Yeah.
And it was so scuffed, and I just kept like streaming because I couldn't do anything else. And then like a week or two later, after I started streaming, they fucking let me go from the job. They were like, oh, you know, the 3 years worth of work that you promised, it's like, you know, it's kind of gone down the drain. Like apparently the company that like hired out our crew like switched providers and shit, and like
what?
So I was last hired by this crew. This is my mate's crew. We're not really mates anymore, partially because of this. So his dad and his company, and basically they like stitched me up, and I spent $1,000 moving down here, and then they let me go, and because I was last hired, and the other blokes like had families and things like that, so they had to keep the work like, you know, they didn't need the rest of the crew and stuff.
Yeah.
They let me go, and there was like another bloke that got laid off. But then it was so weird because like a few months later they, you know, hired a bunch more people and didn't contact me. But I'm pretty sure I know why, because it was I was pretty sour about like it at first, because I'd spent, like I said, a few $1,000s moving down here, and like just it was like fully changed my life to be able to go work for these bastards, and then they just like fucked me within 3 months, and I was just kind of in the lurch, man. Like I was kind of worried, because I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like I don't want to go on fucking Centrelink and shit. And, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so I started looking for work, and while I was looking for work, there's only so many jobs you can apply for in a day and burn out, and I streamed. I don't know. I started streaming, and I was streaming Tarkov, and I started streaming more and more Tarkov. And it was weird because if anyone followed me at the start, I actually had both these fingers taped together. So
did you have a splint as well?
Yeah, I had a splint and everything. So like using a mouse was horrid. Like it was so bad. And I'm like I said, I'm like an FPS, like CS gamer and stuff like that. So like it's just
know your
felt so
capabilities.
weird, man.
And as soon as you're missing those easy shots, you're like, what's going on?
It was crazy, dude. Got this reputation like really early in Australia, like in the OCE servers, for like headshotting everyone with like no matter what gun. And it was like I had TTV in my name at the time, so I just had all these people just popping up in stream, and they're like, they'd start asking me, or like I'd get accusations, and I'd get people asking me stuff, and I'd be like, bro, I've only been playing the game for like a month. Like I don't even like, what do you mean? Like everybody just relax. And then I don't know, it was just like all these toxic people came in at first, and then I was just nice to them, and then like they just stuck around. Like I remember like a lot of my early viewers were just like blokes who just come in to just give me a proper like,
give you a chinful,
just a proper spray, and I'm just there like, oh mate, like sorry man, just must have got lucky. Like
just kill him with kindness.
And I used to like dump people's gear and shit, because I didn't care like as much. I wasn't as invested in stuff at the time, and I just somehow started to get like an audience, and then like some of the biggest streamers at the time started to notice, and like I don't know, it was weird, man. Like I got rated by like Train and like some of those guys like really early on, and I just kind of got a name quite quickly in like the OCE sort of Tarkov side of things. And then I was like, I had people coming in and they were saying like, do you do this full time? And I'm like, well, kind of right now, because I'm looking for work. And I told everyone my situation, and then I started getting more subs and stuff, because I was just like honest about it for some reason. Like they just, I don't know, I guess it was a bit of a charity case at the time, and I felt like a little bit guilty about it, to be honest. I remember like I really suffered from imposter syndrome for a long time, and I still kind of do. I just remember people saying, hey, like, why don't you actually give this a crack full time? And I was like, oh, I've never really thought about it, because I never ever thought of myself as like, oh, like a streamer and like a content creator. And
did you never want it when you were younger?
I thought it was cool, but I gave YouTube a run when I was younger, and I did really well in the Call of Duty Xbox 360 sort of phase clan kind of days. Yeah, I actually did really well during that time. But I'll tell, that's a whole another storyline. But
we got time.
So that it brought out that side for me. So I was like, oh, I could like be creative with this, and I was like, you know what, like maybe. And then I spoke to my mates who I live with, and they're like, yeah, like fucking why not, mate? Like give it a crack, eh? And so I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll get stuck in and give it a rip. So. Yeah, and then before I knew it, I just figured like I've always been really transparent with people. Like I'm somebody that like I have pure intentions all the time, so I want to make sure that everybody knows my intentions are pure. So like I'm very like straight up about shit. Like I don't believe in this like smoke and mirrors type shit. Like I'll just tell you how the fuck it is, man. Like if I'm struggling, it's like, guys, I'm fucking struggling. Like I'm not gonna pretend like I'm in this position of power if I'm not. And so I don't know, I was just really like straight up with people. I was like, hey, like this is what I'm gonna try to do because you guys have been saying this, and so like I made the command. Like it was a command in the channel for so long. I've even like had it in the last 6 months, but it's like exclamation point full time, and it was like just an explanation of like we're actually gonna try to do this, and this is what's required if I want to do it, and if you think that's a good idea, stick around. And I was just really really transparent about it, and I talked about it a lot, and people just thought it was a good idea, and I don't know, man. It just sort of rolled from there, and that was 2.5 years ago. So I'm here.
2.5 years.
Still somehow doing it.
And you've done that a lot in 2.5 years as well.
Yeah. Been very fortunate. Been very like honestly, just if to look at it in that way, I've been super fucking blessed, man. Like I got partnered within a year. It was just like absurd. Like I just something that I remember having people from OCE come and like that had been streaming for like 3 years and shit like that, and they'd be like, bro, I've never seen someone get partnered this quick, and like that's so crazy. And they'd like come out of the woodwork and try and like ask for favors and stuff. You know how it is, but it's like I just remember thinking like, what the fuck? Like this is so like I can't believe this is happened, and it's wild. And I had some really nice people be like, dude, this is just nuts. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like I'm
here.
To do this shit. Yeah, I'm here. Like I'm like, well, I don't get it, and I still feel that way all the time. And I think like when I forget that feeling, it's really important. Like conversations like this conversation right now is so important to me because it's like another little slap in the face of like, hey, just don't forget, mate. Like
where you came
you're
from.
You're pretty bloody lucky. Like you're pretty bloody blessed to be doing what you're doing, man. So. And I have to kick myself a little bit sometimes because we get so caught, like, what it's like, man. You get so caught up in the numbers. You get so caught up in like, I need to grow and I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to, how am I going to make a future out of this? And fuck me, man. It is the most anxiety-inducing, stressful, horrific, like, just lonely shit ever.
You just described my day.
I just wouldn't trade it for the world.
Every day. Yeah,
exactly. No, it is, man. It's so stressful. It's so lonely, and it's so anxiety-inducing, and it literally brings me to like it shits me to tears at times, bro. But I just would not change it for the world. Like some days, I have so much disbelief in myself. I have no belief whatsoever. But then when I'm reminded of things like this, and I can have this conversation, and I can sit here and say like, oh, I've actually managed to do this. And like one of my friends messaged me the other day. Who like one of my real life mates who my younger brother hangs out with quite a lot, who like I don't think really like cares that much about me, and like we just haven't really seen each other much. Like he's really good friends with my 2 other brothers. We all have the same friends group, but he's just not that close with me, I guess.
Yeah.
And he actually messaged me the other day. He's like, bro, I'm just like so proud of you. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes like, you're actually like the only one out of our friends group, like that chose his own path and is like still doing his own path. And I'm like, it just slaps you in the face. It's like you just don't think about that because you're so in this tunnel, and sometimes you just need external factors or external influences to say, hey, take a look at like what you've actually done, and take a look at where you're actually at, because like there's people who just kill to be in your position. It's like perspective's such a big thing for me, man, and I talk about it so much. It's just like having a change of perspective and having a look at things from different angles. But at the same time, as much as I talk about it, sometimes I just forget to practice that myself. And it's like, that's where this stuff is just a blessing, because you really do take a proper look at it and you're like, oh man, like this is actually it's pretty fucking cool,
Yeah. Mal's just getting deep straight away. So, how much of the success you've had do you attribute to the actions you took versus being at the right place at the right time?
I think right place, right time will always play a role in everything, because I think that like, let's say like I didn't try this, well then I never would have been noticed by people in this, if that makes sense. So it's like there's like a part where the actions that you take play into right place, right time, if that makes sense. So it's like I'm never gonna win the lottery unless I'm never going to win the lottery if I don't buy any tickets.
Yeah.
And so like I just keep buying tickets, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I don't actually buy lottery tickets, by the way, but if you know what I mean, it's the same principle. It's like you're never going to get noticed unless you like are trying and trying and trying. And I think like there was an aspect for me of just like, I've got a bit of momentum that I noticed off the start, which I definitely attribute to right place, right time, and luck. And then just capitalizing on that and just like running. And you know the crazy thing about it is like I can talk about it like this as and I don't even like I'm not even successful, if that makes sense. Like I'm successful in the
grand
sense of
scheme of
like I
things, we're
think that,
tiny streamers.
yeah, we're just so small.
But look how
like,
far you've come already. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah. See, that's like a big reminder too. It's like fuck, we're like I mean
We're
I
Little
just
League.
don't consider myself anything. But it's like if I look at my timeline, I'm okay with my timeline.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? And I'm okay. Like, and everybody achieves things at different paces too. Like, I always think of like, old actors. Like, do you know the guy who plays Saruman, in Lord of the Rings?
I know the person you're talking about.
I can't remember his name. Someone's gonna rattle off his name, and it's gonna
Christopher
be
Lee.
like yes. Christopher. I knew it was Chris. I knew it was Christopher or something, but I couldn't think of his fucking name. I didn't want to say it. But yeah, Christopher Lee. Bro, you'd like never heard of that guy until like Saruman, right?
Yeah.
Like think about it.
Bro.
Like that dude got famous, like old as fuck, man, and now he's like one of the most iconic people on the planet. Like that, he will just forever be known as Saruman. Like that's fucking awesome.
True.
And it's like I just think about shit like that. It's like I'm gonna die, you know, like it's so morbid, but like we're all gonna die, you know, like you might as well fucking give shit that you want to do a crack, and like you know I love you for that, as like I'm a massive backer of you because you go hard at that stuff, because it's like you get that and you don't want to be fucking miserable. And I think that that's a huge thing with people in this world, is like people get in a position where they're stuck because they've been told that they're stuck, or they've been taught that they're stuck. And look, I know that people have like responsibilities. They have kids, they have houses, they have blah, 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 pets and all this sort of stuff. And I understand that. But I also think that like if you really, really want something, you should be fucking relentless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire.
Yeah.
That is like my favorite quote ever. I'm not like a huge, I got a few quotes that I like, only a few. And that's one of my favorites, is because like if you really want that shit, you will find a way to work around your fucking obstacles and your problems and your troubles to actually get stuck in. And I tell you what, man, and you can attest to this, but any sort of success or stepping stone or milestone that comes off of you actually committing 100% to something is the fucking best feeling ever.
Unbeatable.
Dude. It's so good.
Unbeatable.
It's like you just know that you work towards that stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like addictive, man. But you know the crazy part is like comfortability comes off the back of success. And even at like the shitty level like that I would consider myself at, in comparison to like, you know, obviously you'd probably feel similar in comparison to like all these other massive creators, right? It's like the small level that you're at. It's like you still have this ability to get comfortable at times, and it's bad for us.
Oh yeah.
It's it's so crazy. It's like you're literally your own worst enemy in that way.
Yeah.
It's wild.
You say we're tiny, and you know we're on the grand scheme of things. You're right, but you're still in the top 1% of Twitch. That's the scary thing.
Mate, it's an absurd factor. Hey, like
that is disgusting.
It's mind-boggling, like statistics, like that shit. It's crazy.
I've lived the life of, you know, every stream and like looking at my statistics, looking at how many viewers or followers I gained, how many people were watching, like average view duration and all that stuff. I was a stickler for statistics, but it's just a nightmare. You can't live that way.
Oh yeah, it just destroys your head, man. Yeah, I mean, you probably say you turn your viewer count off. I don't find out till after stream anymore.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's just healthy. Like you're performing for like, you're like performing. You're entertaining for a regardless amount of number, and you don't want to change how you are to those numbers. You can't be like, oh, I've got 100 viewers.
Man, I just think of it of how like when I was doing music. It's like if I was to play a show for 5 people when I was doing music, I'd still give it the same as what I'd give 10,000 people. Do you know what I mean?
Look
like,
what Mel said.
Why is that any different with streaming?
Yeah, Mel just
said.
I mean?
There's still 5 human beings.
Streaming is the new rock star. There's lots of parallels between music business and streaming. Even the biggest of bands play to 5 people once.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Well, he's 100% right because a lot of what I was applying to music at the time, I started to apply to this. So a lot of like the lessons that I learned with that stuff when I was doing it for a couple of years, like for those who don't know, I fucking wrote. I was a singer songwriter for like a little bit, and like I did some hip hop shit. It was kind of cringe,
Where
but
can people find the
I was
music?
going okay. Nowhere because
Why
I don't
not?
tell anyone. Nah, there is a song on SoundCloud that you can listen to. That's always been available.
Is that like under Coltz?
I think so. Yeah, I was like Johnny Aces. That was like my stage name.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you can find it under Coltz now. I changed it, but it's on SoundCloud. It's like it's one of the. I actually had a record label reach out to me or a couple of labels reach out to me for that song. We sent out demos to them, and like I got a couple of offers, but they're all shithouse offers, like from stingy labels. So, but
I'm trying to find you.
yeah, it's called Falling. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. It's actually about depression, which is like part of like my whole inspiration with shit. It's like about the spiral that led me to like being clinically depressed and not being here nearly. And like I know it sounds really full on, but yeah, it's about like the habits and what I used to do, and like the people I was with and the life I used to live that led me to that spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's still kind of like a vibey song.
Yeah, Malge will find
know,
anything on the internet. If you say there's something on the internet, Malge will find it. Same as Mav.
Like I've played demos for chat before. Like back when I used to play New World, I used to get asked to play my music a lot, and like I played like demos and shit of like all the shit that I never released and stuff. So it was I got heaps of shit that I never touched. But I think because I'd still like to make music, I just don't have time to. And I think like I still will eventually put out a project of music, but I think it'll be so different to like that shit that I made then. Like it would be way more acoustic, like personal sort of, I don't know, love like sappy shit now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I love country music, and it'd probably even have like a fair bit of like country music like influence in there and stuff. Like I don't know, some Chris Stapleton blues type shit, man. I don't fucking know. But yeah, just some soulful stuff. Like
So
I really like the Teskey
potentially
Brothers.
Colt's
like,
music coming soon then.
I don't know about soon, brother. To be honest, like it's just you know,
soon is as short or as long as you take it.
Yeah, it'll be eventually. I do want to put it out music eventually.
It'd be
I'll
good.
probably just include it into like the whole Patreon side of things and all that sort of stuff. And
yeah, let people see your journey, and like, you know, they could be a part of it for the ideas or some parts of the inspiration, or they can see what you're taking in for inspiration. You know, just show them I was going to say the back door. Show them the behind the scenes, like, I don't know, of your thoughts and stuff. You'll be surprised how people,
man,
how interested they'd be.
You know the scary thing about becoming like aware, like working on yourself, like the stuff I was talking about my brother does, is like the scariest thing about that is you realize in life that like you can't do that many things. Like you got to dedicate to like a few things. You know what I mean? Like you don't have enough time to do everything that you want to do. And it's so fucking scary to me. But like, I'm sort of coming to terms with it a lot more in the last year or so. It's just like, hey, let's pick, you know, things to work through here. Because I've had phases with other things, right? And it's like there have been chapters in my life, and it's like, oh, what am I doing for the next, you know, foreseeable chapter? And it's like, well, streaming and content creation is something I fucking love, so I'm going to do that to my best ability, and then we'll see what we can expand upon from there. But it's like, yeah, you realize that like you just don't have all that much time. You got a lot of time. It's so weird because you have a fuckload of time, but it's not enough to do everything well.
Yeah.
Everything well, I think. Yeah, I think like you can do a lot of shit, but you'll do a lot of shit half-assed and like I've done that, man. I've done the let's dip into 20 pools and let's fucking, you know, and you half-ass 20 different things, and it's just not fulfilling. Like it feels terrible. Like
apparently we're listening to your music in my streams now for the song requests.
Oh god, that's probably the hip hop shit because that's the only stuff that's on Spotify.
Yeah,
and it is cringe.
Like Malge is pretty much the same as what you said. Like you can't do too much, but I know Malge. Malge is a very good guitar player. And he's made his own music, and he's had a band, and he's now learning the drums, so he doesn't have to pay someone to play the drums for his music. So he's learning the drums himself.
I respect that hugely. That's dedication.
Yeah, And Mav, another one in
Yeah.
chat. Mav has like 20 different projects. Like he
mate,
is busy. And I don't understand it. I'm like, I've got to do this. I've got to do this.
And like,
I've
you got to
do
find
this.
time for like family
Life.
and all this shit around that. It's like, it's wild, man. Like I had it was Father's Day here yesterday for us in Australia, and like had brunch with my dad and my mum and my brother and stuff, and it was just like, it's so nice to see them and stuff and actually hang out with them, especially after like, I don't know, they've been through a lot in the last year, my folks, and yeah, it was really nice. But I was just thinking like, fuck, man, like I probably see these guys once a month.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm lucky, and that's, some people see their parents way less. And sometimes I see them less. Yeah, and that's just crazy. It's like, it's pretty wild. You know,
there's
they're
my brother's
about 2 hours away from me, and
yeah,
it's not even the fact that 2 hours is that bad. It's the fact that it's 2 hours there to spend X amount of time there to drive 2 hours. But it's like it takes a whole day out of your thing, you know. And it's like, we're prioritizing grinding because, you know, you have a passion for it and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes, man, I have to like take a look at stuff and just be like, you know, what am I going to spend my finite amount of time doing? You know, it's like,
and the problem is,
think,
in the content creation game, timing and like being on point is key. So it's kind of like a juggling, like, oh, do I go out with my partner tonight for a few drinks, or like, you know, go for a meal, or do I wait and for this patch so I can find the patch notes and upload the patch notes, or like, you know, make a video or some content from it.
Yeah.
Like, which one are you gonna do?
At the drop of a hat, you got to be willing to lock in for a week. It's like,
yeah,
I'm not coming out of the dungeon for a week. It's like, this is happening, you know.
Like, you're pretty locked in right now, aren't you? Because of a new release.
Basically, yeah. So, I mean, not even just that. I'm locked in right now because I leave to come over your neck of the woods in like less than 2 months. It's like, I got fucking shit to do, man. Like, I want to go over there and have YouTube uploads going while I'm, you know, over there and stuff, be able to just release shit, you know, because the last thing I want is to get there and then see a bunch of, like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate that. There's nothing worse. I mean, there is a few things worse, but this is a terrible feeling, and I guarantee you'll agree, is when you haven't done shit and then you see it done and you're like, fuck, I could have done that.
Yep.
You're like, I should have this coming out. You know, it's fucking horrible, man.
Yeah. I've missed the ball a few times, and it's a proper sucker punch when you go on YouTube or you see something on Twitter.
And you only have yourself to blame. That's the worst part.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, there's like no one else. You can.
This job is like the most rewarding, but then the most like daunting job ever, because, like you said, if you do something and you do it well, there is no one around you in the office. There's no director that you can be like, oh, well done, director, or, you know, like, anything that happens well is you and the team that's close to you. But then if there's something that you miss and you know full well you are 100% in the wrong for missing that shit feels bad, man. That shit is bad.
Oh, man,
like, it knocks you mental, like, big time.
You've been in the pocket lately for YouTube releases, right? So, like, you've been in that pocket of, like, productivity.
Yes.
You know how good that feels, but do you remember how it felt before you weren't pumping them out? When you're like, you procrastinate about doing it, and you're in that, like, space where that's where I'm at right now, and I'm trying to get back to that pocket
cut
of, like,
it out, man.
You're uploading. No, I know, and it's literally, it's that simple. It's like, just put it out, but it's like, just shit. I just put it off, or I second guess it.
Yeah.
Like I've got a series that I'm doing on Valorant, and I'm doing it live on stream, but I'm making videos for it, right? And I have restarted the first episode video 5 times already because I'm like, nah, that's not good enough to start. Like,
just start.
It's got to grab attention. It's
but you've got
and like, that's the thing.
Somewhere.
I was like, it's the same with music. You can, like, not put shit out because, like, you're you know, perfectionist, or you're worried about this, you're worried about that, you're worried about how it's going to be received. But, like, artists that just put music out, some of them are their best received songs. You know what I mean? Songs that they almost didn't put out and shit like that. It's like, I got to remember that, but it's like, I just forget that shit, and I just fucking shoot myself in the foot.
You miss every shot you don't take, Coltz.
Exactly, man. Yeah, you just got to keep rolling them out.
This isn't me talking. This is definitely my team, like Melge and Mav, because they'd be like, have you made this? And I'm like, no, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, but it's gonna be late tomorrow. It's not gonna do as well as it would have today, like you planned. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And they're like, well, fucking sort it out then. And to be fair, they strong arm me a lot, and I'm I've kind of come around now. Like I can do things on my own accord, essentially.
Oh mate, absolutely.
But it's bad when you get in the point where you're like, oh, I can do that video, but I can also make this, which would be really good for the stream.
Yeah.
But then
But now you're just
need
pumping
the
them
video.
out though. You're in that pocket. It's like it's a whole fucking it's a zone, man. You get this like it just becomes easier to want to sit there and edit videos and do videos.
It's easier to make videos than to stream right now. That's going to be something I have to admit. Like with streaming, you don't know what's going to come. You don't know. Bless you. You don't know how your day's going to go. You don't know who's going to be there. You don't know what's going to happen in that day. But then with your video editing, you already know what's going to happen because you've got like a little mind itinerary that you're like, right, this, then this, then this, then this. Whereas a stream, you could have a belter of a stream, or you could have an absolute real mental crash of a stream. And they're the worrying things for me. Which I've only made YouTube videos like properly for like a month or two. Whereas streaming, I've done that full time for 3 years. And now my confidence is the other way around, which is
I always say that if I started again with the intention to do content creation, obviously the no-brainer is like I wish I just started in YouTube. But it's like
problem is, I bet you've had hundreds of people tell you the same thing. Even the day you started streaming. What you want to do is you want to start a YouTube, you want to make a video, you want to do this, you want to do that, and you go, yeah, cool. But you're riding that high wave of streaming. You're growing, you've got new faces in your stream. You don't want to take any time away from your stream to go to YouTube. But then you fast forward 2 years down the line, and you're like, shit, I should have made videos.
It's a whole thing. It's fucking scary to
admit.
Yeah, you know, it's like time off and everything and stuff like that. I've got better with like giving myself leeway where I need to, but I also think that like I still feel guilty about it. Even when every time I have a day off, I feel guilty. It's like you just know that like if you're not working, then somebody else is working, and it's just that competitive. But
yeah, but in a way, that's a good thing. It's good to have that competitive bone, because otherwise you'd be like, meh. Oh well, like good on that other person that's made the video exactly how I wanted to make it, and he's smashing it. You want to be like, fuck, I should have made that kind of thing. You need that. Yeah. Mel just asked, have we got any dates?
For Europe? I do, actually.
And he answered the family question as well, didn't he, Melch? He did.
So the 30th of the 10th, so 30th of October, till the 31st of November. So we're there for a month, like basically 5 weeks. So
is that all of Europe or is that Britain?
No, so we're the home base is in London. So that's Kelly's sister's house in London. So we'll be there. That's my girlfriend Kelly. We'll be at her sister's place in London, and then like Wales, Italy, Portugal, France, and then like more of England, obviously.
Because a lot of this trip is golf related, isn't it?
It was, but I think like it'll be like 20-30% of it will be that, and the rest will be streaming and just exploring. It was going to be more golf, but what I've done recently with that stuff is just realize like, fuck, I just need to make more content. Like I'd love to be able to branch into the golf side of things, but it's like in reality, I have a golden opportunity to just become more of a person in the content streaming world if I just work at it. And I'm like, I'd much rather just work at that stuff and then enjoy the holiday side of things. Like there's like 3 or 4 days we're playing golf in Portugal at like a golf resort and stuff, because that's how I met my girlfriend.
I was going to say, because Kelly doesn't have a normal job, does she?
No, so she's a physio. She works for herself. She's a physiotherapist, but she like runs her own business. So she does like referrals through what's called like NDIS here, which is like the National Disability Scheme and stuff. So they're like in a gold mine at the moment. So they get a lot of...
I thought it was something to do with golf, Melt, because I knew she's a good golfer, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a phenomenal golfer. It's crazy. It's better than me and all my friends.
So you're going to be playing with her, with a handicap, I guess?
Oh, dude, we play with her all the time. She comes and plays with the boys and stuff, and she just flogs everyone. She's literally like, we play team games, and whoever's team she's on, she just carries them.
There you go, Melt. That's why I said normal job. So where was the places you were going again? Portugal, Italy, Wales, England, France. Did you guys pick these places just like kind of at a drop of a hat?
Yeah, because I
like,
want to go.
specific?
I really would like to go to Ireland and Scotland as well and stuff like that, and Greece and shit. But like, we just won't fit it all in. But her sister gets married next year, so we'll be back over there at some point next year too.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be back over again. So
you won't want to come back over when you. Well, I'd say this weather. The weather today is absolutely boiling, but man, October, November weather.
Yeah, see, that's the crazy thing though. Is everybody says that to me about like the rain and the cold and shit. But like, I come from tropical Queensland where it's fucking stinking hot all the time, and like, it's like sometimes it's really humid heat where you sweat your fucking ring out, or it's like sometimes it's like really dry, like shit heat. And honestly, ever since I was a kid, man, I love the rain. Like I grew up country, so rain on a tin roof and like the rainy day vibes and stuff, man. And you know, like I grew up outdoors kid and stuff, but when it rained, it was an excuse to be inside to play video games too. And like, I love the rain, man. I have a very, very like, I'm gonna be a pig in shit over there when it comes to rain, bro. Like it's gonna be, if it's raining in England, I'm gonna be happy. That's exactly how I've always pictured England. Like I grew up playing football. Before I went into the music side of things, I actually was on my track to be a professional footballer as well, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh damn.
And that was all about like the English game and stuff like that, because you grew up watching Premier League games and you grew up watching like Goal, the movie and stuff like that, with like Kuno Becker and shit, and like you'd see them playing in the rain, and it's just like, we don't get that here, bro. We play here and it's like fucking hot. It's like, it's warm. It's even in winter, man. Like sometimes it's cold, but it's really not that cold in comparison. So like for me, England and like the UK and the rainy, like stormy, gloomy weather is like everything that I love. Like I'm like, let's fucking go. Yeah, I'm gonna be happy as shit. Kelly hates it, but I'll be happy.
You'll be a pig in shit.
Oh mate, I'll be stoked. Honestly,
how did you meet Kelly then?
Well, I met her at a golf course.
You can say on a golf course.
Yeah, I met her at a golf course. Yeah, I actually so I sort of decided, if I'm gonna have something, like if I'm gonna be working this hard at content, I need something that like I'm gonna do physical activity wise outside of the gym. The gym's just like normal stuff, but like I need something that's gonna separate and take me away here and there. Not
from the office,
like often, because you can't do it often. But it's it's a step out into nature, and I'm like, golf makes sense because all my friends played it and stuff. And so I started, and then I'm one of those people, man, where like I can't half-ass it. Like I can't not be good at something. It annoys the fuck out of me. So. No, it does, man. I'm so bad. I get so upset with myself. Like, people see it on stream all the time. Like, I'm playing Valorant at the moment, and like, I'm decent at it. I reckon sometimes I'm getting better, but some days I just have days where I swear to God, it's just somebody else's brain and somebody else's arms that I'm using.
Yeah.
And like, I get so annoyed, and I get tilted. But it's not with anything in the game. I don't sit there and blame teammates or blame anything. I'm just angry as fuck at myself because I'm like, why can't you get it, you fucking idiot? Like. It drives me nuts, man. So like anything that I can't do well, I get so irritated and I have to work at it. So golf is really hard to be good at for any human being on earth. And so of course, it's even worse. And I've had to learn a lot of patience. I was actually practicing golf. I was practicing my short game. I was practicing chipping. And I met her at the chipping green at a local golf course because she was doing the same. She's actually very much the same. She will apply herself to something and just learn and learn and learn and learn.
Did she give you some tips?
Oh yeah, I get tips all the time off her. It's crazy.
So she didn't come over and be like, "Come on, get out of the way. You're ruining my game." She came over and she.
Nah, on the day it was just like, because you don't see a lot of young females playing golf, like in general, but especially not like reasonably attractive ones, and like, at golf courses during the week and stuff. And so like, we work different hours doing what we do. So I went early in the morning on like a fucking Wednesday because I knew I'd be like working in the office the rest of the day and stuff. And then, like she was there and we just met. I remember just like, I spoke to her first out of like courtesy. It was like to clear the green or something like that because she was like chipping. I didn't want to be in the way.
Yeah.
And then from there it was just like, oh, so you actually play, like, how long have you been playing and shit? And then we ended up playing a few rounds together, and then we went on some few dates. And
you said you never see attractive women on. You never usually. So Zid is saying, is she only reasonably attractive then?
I think attraction is like subjective. I think that like everyone has what they're attracted to, man.
Good escape, man. Good escape.
Yeah, I think like I'm incredibly attracted to her, so that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, dude.
At the end of the day. So
you reckon he's a smooth talker? Yeah, I reckon you're a smooth talker. This comes naturally.
I reckon when I was younger I was, but not anymore.
Not
I reckon
anymore?
like when I was like when I was like 19, 20, like a few years ago, like I reckon I was, because I was a bit of a fuckboy, like a bit of a wanker, to be honest. Like I didn't like who I was. No, seriously, I didn't like who I was. I was that's what led to depression, man, is like just that lifestyle and shit, and like very much about like the wrong things, putting value in the wrong things and stuff, you know.
We've been there, man.
Yeah, I just had a very fucked perception of like what
priorities,
success and what like actual winning was and stuff like that, and my priorities were all fucking twisted.
I think that's a very relatable
look
thing.
I'm grateful for it. I am grateful for it, but I definitely look back now and I'm like, damn, I was a wanker. I'm glad I was a wanker, but fuck me, I was a wanker. Like I've
always done the same. I've always been open and
I think
honest.
like then I was obviously a bit more with that stuff, but now I'm just very like blunt, and like Kelly found me kind of like remember she actually says it all the time, but like when we first started dating, man, I was very like cold and like off-putting, because I was just like, I'm very like straightforward and blunt with people in public, and I'm very like, not like, I don't mean it in a rude way or at all, but I'm like, I'm not this talkative, energetic person when you meet me.
No,
unless I get a few drinks in me and we're comfy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you first meet me, I'm actually kind of quiet. Like people think I'm this massive extrovert, but I'm like, yeah, like I remember like meeting people at PAX and they were like, "Oh, this is not how I pictured you'd be," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's different. You become comfortable in your room working at this shit, and you develop like I wouldn't say a persona, because I'm no different as a person and what I think about and stuff like that, but I just think I'm more comfy because I'm like, it's a screen and stuff like that. Whereas like when I meet people, I think I'm very much the person who like I enjoy listening before I speak and thinking before I speak a bit more.
Going back to
it's a bit more leveled.
Not a nice topic, but you know, when you were saying like the darkest parts of your life and like who you were, and you know, you weren't happy with that. I think everyone does go through that stage, and I think I always say this in chat, like I don't like who I used to be. Personally, like my goals in life, my priorities, just who the person I was in general was just not a nice person. But I'm glad I've done it at a younger age rather than doing it when I'm 35, 40, when I've, you know, potentially got a family, or, you know, I've got like a house with someone, you know, there's money in that relationship of sorts. I'm lucky I did it when I was younger, and I think anyone that's gone through that, rather than beating yourself up, be grateful that, you know, you did it at an earlier stage, because that's what midlife crises usually turn out to be. And you usually see those people that don't... The people with midlife crisis are the ones that didn't experience it when they were younger. And not that I'm proud of it, or I show off about like my previous behaviors or my previous actions, but anyone that comes to my community or anyone that comes in chat, I'm just like, just be grateful that, you know, you've done it. Like everyone in my chat, anyone here now, we're all of age, that we've kind of, we've done things we're not proud of, but we've learned from it, we've rectified it, and we've changed how we now, you know, behave or perceive things. And that's the healthy way. That's definitely the healthy way. So people shouldn't, you know, beat themselves up about it. Yeah, even Malge just said, I think most of us think that when we look back too. Malge does. I definitely do. It's not something I'm proud about, not something I'd shout about off the rooftops, but I'm glad I've done it then. Like now, I don't have any children, but I have 5 cats. I've got a nice car. I've got a lot to lose now. Whereas like back in the day, I had no responsibilities. I'm kind of glad I did it then. So going back to your trip, have you got any like solid things that you want to do, or like solid plans?
I want to hang out with you, like, so I want to do a meetup with you and like streams with you, because like I'll be streaming like the same times as you. With like the time zones, because like the times that I start over there in the mornings will be the same as like my start times here, roughly, sort of thing, or like a little bit later.
A little bit
obviously.
later.
So it'll be like late nights here will be mornings there, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, fuck, I'm gonna play games with Az, obviously, and then hang out with you as many days as you can spare, because fuck, I mean, it's not like we get to do it often. I was gonna ask, that sort of shit, and genuinely just spend time and hang about and stuff, and then some meetups, like I'll do a couple of meetups, and yeah, just stream a little bit.
Are you doing like touristy stuff
just
with
soak
Kelly?
it up, man. Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, there's not. I honestly, I think of it as like, I don't want to get over there and feel this pressure to like smash a fucking billion things in the 5 weeks that I'm there, because like we've got a bit of time, and like I also know that we'll be back. Like, I don't want it to be like, this is my only time in my life, I'm gonna be here, so I better get all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'll hate it then. So I just want to sort of cruise, go with the flow, and just definitely try and stream and make content, and then like hang out with you as much as I can, and some other creators like Tommy Sherlock. I think he's down in Bristol.
Okay, that's just around the corner from me.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Tommy Sherlock.
I don't.
He's another lad from the UK. He's been sort of stuck in my corner for the last few years. He's a good lad. He's a Rainbow Six streamer and like caster.
Okay.
He's just a good bloke. And TFG, I might try and meet up with as well.
Okay.
That friendly guy.
Yeah. He's up north, isn't he?
Yeah, that's not even concrete yet. I haven't really talked to him about that. Like, you're the only concrete one.
Yeah. Like my community know we're gonna do like an autumn winter kind of meetup, and it's probably gonna be in London. As you're situated in London, we'll all meet up in London. Yeah,
I'll tell all my guys that are there as well, and yeah, that'd be great. Because I know like we got a lot of our UK viewers are pretty much the same. So
yeah, it's a big crossover. Take him on a hike. Get your shit together before then. When he comes to Wales, we'll definitely go to Snowdon, Zid. Snowdon will be good.
Oh yeah, hike it. Yeah, Kelly I was saying she loves that shit, man. So like any outdoorsy like adventure shit we can do. Any food related stuff, she's big. So she's an insanely good cook. And like a food connoisseur. She's like, no, seriously, like has literally introduced me to like an entire different world of food that I ever knew about, like growing up and shit. Like, oh, it's crazy, man.
Same as Tara.
So she's her parents are Cantonese,
nice.
from Hong Kong.
Food.
So she came over when she was a baby, from there, and then like grew up Australian.
Okay.
But like has all of that like culture and food background and stuff, and like they don't do like easy meals.
No.
An easy meal to them is like a gourmet meal. It's so crazy. It's like she like frowns at like if I'm like, oh, I'll just have like these burgers, and she's like, nah, like if you're gonna have burgers, it's gonna be like this way. And it's like the most fucking amazing shit ever.
Yeah, that's the same as Tara. Like,
she's crazy.
I can cook, but I cannot cook compared to Tara. Like,
I fucking hate cooking, so that's why she cooks when she's here. Like,
beautiful.
She loves cooking. She absolutely, like Kelly absolutely adores it. I hate it.
You hate cooking?
I hate waiting. I'm just like, why can't I just eat now? What the fuck? Like,
what's the typical food in Australia? Like in Britain, you got like ham, egg, and chips, pie and chips, roast dinners, that kind of thing. What's
pretty similar? Like bangers and mash and like veggies was like a staple growing up for me. Like corned beef and veggies and like
very, very similar then.
Like they're quite similar, to be honest. I think like chicken palmy, like a big deal, like palmy with chips and stuff, big deal. That's like my staple go-to pub food. Like I'll get a palmy. I like rate all my palmies at different pubs I go to and shit. So.
Okay, because like I don't know about anyone else that's here in Britain, but I've never really had a chicken palmy. Or I've never seen one in a pub. Like, typical pub grub here would be like pies, ham, egg, and chips, an all-day brunch, maybe a carbonara if the pub wants to be a bit posh. But that's it.
Pretty similar. Like we're big on pies here. Pies are done at bakeries, not so much pubs.
Yeah.
like pies are a big bakery thing. But yeah, huge on pie. Like tradies and stuff here just fucking live on pies.
Love a pie.
I love pies. Like I actually had a mate give me some stuff from Greg's, who I lived with. So I've actually lived with like a couple of lads from different parts of the UK. Back when I worked this like sales job, there was a lot of like UK. It was owned by a UK guy and stuff, and like lived with like I've lived with like a couple of Geordies and
Oh yeah.
Scouse lads and like a couple of fucking North London boys and things like that. And like, so I know like a little bit of like the culture with food and stuff. And I've had like a few of the English delicacies and things like that. And I've had like some of their snacks and shit like that. Like, I think it's like Jaffa cakes or whatever it is. Those
Yeah.
fucking, yeah, I've had those. And I've had like they used to get all that sort of shit.
Is there any
It was
food
also
that
a
you're
period of my life.
Is there any food that you're like interested or like looking forward to in Britain? Is there something that you've heard of, or you're like,
Kelly has like bakeries she's fucking mad keen on. So she's done like a baker's apprenticeship and everything like that with like one of the best bakers in the world and stuff like that. She lived in America for like a year and did one.
okay,
And like, yeah, so like we'll be doing that sort of shit, like a lot of baker's stuff. Like she's huge on like baked goods and like really good, like proper, well done, like bakery foods. So there'll be that sort of shit. And for me personally, man, I just want to like, because I'm not a fussy like food guy. Like if it's edible, I'll try it. You know what I mean? Like, and like if I'm served it like at someone's house, I'll eat it. Like I'm not like I don't really have any. I don't have allergies or anything like that. I don't have anything like super crazy that I like will say no to. I want to try. Is it English pudding or whatever it is? The black pudding or whatever.
oh, black pudding.
Yeah.
Like usually for like on breakfasts and stuff. It's dry pig's blood. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try it. Yeah.
That's good.
Just see what it's like. And
So
then,
we're gonna have to get haggis for the Scottish people. I'll bring. Well, what does Wales do? Welsh cakes. What they literally.
Oh, and I'm just fucking keen for some English beer. To be fair, like Welsh beer and stuff. Like I want to try some like local lagers and pints and shit. You know?
Nice. Okay.
Like I'm not even like big into beer at the moment, but I know when I get over there, because it's just like that culture. It's like I want to have a pint at all these different pubs.
Are you like a lager drinker or an ale drinker, or can you just happy with drinking anything?
I'm pretty, yeah. See, that's what I mean. I'm not like fussy. More, I like lagers a little bit more, but I'm not fussy. I'll try whatever.
It depends where you go. I mean, London has like a mad selection of any drink that you could think of. To be fair.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you'll be spoiled. Penguins are superior to Tim Tams, and I will not be persuaded otherwise. That's weird.
Oh, really?
I only saw Tim Tams the other day, so I only know, luckily, what you're on about.
I don't know, man. Tim Tams are pretty fucking iconic. I think across the board, everyone's like,
is there a joke?
If you've had a Tim Tam.
Is there a joke in the wrapper of a Tim Tam, though?
Nah.
There is on a penguin.
Because they come in their own little like
box,
tray,
don't they?
like a little fucking specific tray. No, they're like a iconic tray. Trust me, it's like you like slide it. Yeah, you know Mr. Gibbon, obviously, right?
Yeah. That's who I saw. I saw his.
Yeah, bro. Bro, he's not lying. They're actually fantastic. They're fucking amazing, dude.
So if I'm gonna bring some Welsh stuff, what are you bringing from Australia?
I'll bring you some Tim Tams if I can.
Bring some Tim Tams.
I'll bring some Vegemite too.
All right, yeah, sound.
Because I'll make you eat it properly. I won't make you eat it like all these fucking other idiots. So I have a big problem with this as an Australian, because I reckon Vegemite gets a bad rap in the rest of the world because all these idiots eat it as like a full spoonful, and it's a fucking condiment. Like, when do you ever do that?
Yeah, you don't have a spoonful of sauce.
People don't do that shit. So you have to eat it properly, man. Like, so you get some toast, right? And you get like butter on the toast, right?
Yeah.
And then you put like a nice blend of Vegemite in with that butter, and it's like it's a blend, and then that's when you eat it, and it's fucking amazing.
Have you had it?
You don't just go eating it on a spoon, because then you're like, oh, that's foul. It's like, well, obviously it's a fucking. You don't see me just going out and grabbing like any other condiment, just eat a spoonful of it.
Have you had Marmite before?
Yeah, I've had Marmite.
Is it different to Marmite?
My dad actually loves English breakfast muffins.
Okay,
and crumpets and shit. My dad loved that shit growing up. Like, so he had Marmite and stuff, and marmalade and all that sort of fucking crap.
Have you ever tried Bovril?
Baked beans. My dad's a big baked beans fan.
Yeah, because you don't have baked beans with you, do you? Like, typically, you'd have to get Like your baked
Oh
beans are
no,
different,
they're
aren't
huge
they?
over here. They're huge.
Oh, are
No,
they?
they're huge. Yeah, they're iconic. That's the whole part of being like a convict nation, man. Like there's a lot of shit we got in common. Like it's basically a fucking jaggy version of everything that you cunts have. So it's like, don't even stress. We've pioneered a few things, but for the most part, it's just
You
like,
still
well,
steal.
let's just take it off the other white cunts. Like,
Yeah.
we're all good.
Beans on toast is bigger over there than here. Really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, it's huge.
See,
Yeah.
Tara loves her beans on toast. I've grown
Yeah,
out of
nah.
it now.
Baked beans on toast is fucking massive here, mate. Yeah.
With cheese on top?
Well, at least me growing up, like it was.
Yeah, it's like jacket potato is more my thing now. Jacket potato with like prawn cocktail.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what a jacket potato is? It's like
Nah,
a big potato that you like
Yeah.
you roast, so like the skin goes
Yeah.
like quite hard and crispy, but then everything inside is like
Yeah.
fluffy. And it's like a big potato like that, and then you like cut it open, put butter in this so everything like caramelizes and melts, and then you put like a baked potato.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
right.
jacket potato is a baked potato.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
But obviously a jacket because of the crispy.
Like common.
So that's not common.
Nah, we're a fish and chips nation.
Yeah, we're pretty strong on fish and chips.
Yeah, fish and chips nation. What else? What else is real big here? Oh, fucking toasties are real big. Like toasted sandwiches.
We need to take Coltz to get a hoagie. Yeah. If Coltz is around Cardiff, we'll go for the best coffee in the world. We'll go for the best sandwich, cold sandwich in the world. And then on the way to a mountain, I'll take him for the best burger, at least in Britain. At least.
Alright. Bet. I'm keen. Let's do it.
The burger is an hour away from our house, and we've gone twice in 2 weeks. How has Coltz not mentioned palmies yet? He has mentioned palmies, Sid. He said chicken
bro,
palmy.
palmy, yeah. Palmies are like my go-to. If I go out anywhere and I've never been there before, I get a palmy. Doesn't matter.
So palmy's your
It's
safety
my
meal
go-to.
then?
Yeah, it's safety. Yeah, it's a safety pick. And like you just rate it out of 10. Like they're all pretty reasonably. Like I think Australia has like a palmy culture, so you got to fucking be pretty shithouse to not get like a decent score on a palmy.
What makes a good palmy? Because I've never had a chicken palmy
size
over
first
here
and
is just
foremost.
not
If
big.
you get underserved, like because like palmies, you go to a pub for lunch, mate, or you go to a pub for dinner, or you go to a fucking sports club. Like size is huge. So like if I get a shit size serving, like, and it's not going to fill me up, I'd rather be overfull and not be able to eat the bastard than get a shit size. The consistency of like cheese mixed in with the chicken is like super important. So like how thick is the cheese layering with the sauce and stuff like that. Like if you just like do like one little layer of cheese melted on there and then just pour some tomato sauce, it's like that's piss poor. You got to get proper fucking Parmesan, like Parmigiana setup going on.
What's the side that comes with it? Is it like chips or
chips? Yeah, so you get chips and salad, or you can get veggies. And I always just go chips and salad because it's like just easy. And so the salad can be good at times, or it can be atrocious. They just pile a bunch of fucking green leaves.
just
on
leaves? Yeah.
Tomato. Yeah, that's garbage. You can get some good ones here and there though. And then the chips, if they're crap as well, you got to have decent chips with them. And then also like one of the things that ticks me off and ticks a lot of people off is they serve the palmy on top of the fucking chips. Like they sit it on top. It's like I don't want that. Like don't. I
want it to the side.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's annoying because you always move it to the side anyways. You know? It's like.
Do you have like Hunter's chicken and stuff over there?
You have what?
Hunter's chicken. So it's chicken breast wrapped in bacon, covered in cheese, and then barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I don't know what we call it, but I've had that. It's good.
Fish and chips or French fries? Oh yeah, are they like
some
big
places
chunky
do
chips?
French fry style, but some places, most of them do like the fish shop chips, but like their own like cut version. Like
what would you prefer?
Different pubs do different versions of chips in Australia. Like
what's your go-to chips for a palmy?
oh, I like the fish and chips ones, but I like the mid-ground ones. But they do like the fish and chips style chips, but they do like a smaller, thinner version of them, and they're still fish and chips style chips, but they're just like refined.
Yeah. So other than a chicken
palmy,
palmy,
I love a pizza.
I was going to say, what's your favorite? What's your favorite type of food? Pizza, burgers, palmy? Is it now
Mexican
Cantonese?
food. Yeah, Mexican food.
Mexican. Okay, now we're talking.
Mexican food is my. So outside of Australia, like all of our traditional like Aussie shit that we eat.
Yeah.
That's not really even Aussie shit at the end of the day.
It's just British.
Yeah, it's just it's just British or whatever, but German or Italian. But it's Mexican food. I fucking love Mexican food. It's fucking incredible.
It's just a taste
Mexican
sensation.
food is the same food, right? Mexican food is the exact same food, just repackaged in different shapes and sizes, and that makes me so happy.
Yeah, you know exactly what it's gonna taste.
The same shit, but they're just like packaged differently. A fucking quesadilla is the same as a fucking burrito, but it's like packaged. You know what I mean? It's all the same essential base food, but it's just like
wrapped
30 different variations of how to package it and like do it. But yeah, I fucking love Mexican.
I could eat burritos all day, every day for the rest of my life, just like pizza.
Yeah, pizza bangs. Yeah, I'm up there with pizza too.
Me and Tara have taco
biggest
night
thing
once a week.
Is like I struggle with that stuff lately because it's just so heavy set with carbs, man, and it gets me so tired when I eat.
I'm living the best life,
I don't
right?
eat small amounts.
Same.
Yeah. I just I don't eat small amounts, so I tuck in and I'm like, fuck. I eat a whole pizza and I'm like, shit, I'm so tired. And it's so hard to be tired and do this job because you sit in a chair, so you want to go to sleep even more. It's like it's terrible. So.
Explain what a halal snack pack is for.
Oh yeah, we have those here. Yeah, HSPs, bro. They're huge here. That's big. Go out food. When you go out for drinks, HSPs are big food.
What is a HSP?
Kebabs and HSPs. Yeah.
What is a HSP?
It's fucking like kebab meat, right? With like chips and like sauce. It's like a fucking absolute it's like kebab meat on top of like chips with like sauce and cheese, just like fucking thrown all over the cunt. It's like loaded fries with like halal meat, bro.
I need that in my life.
Oh, bro, it's literally the most calorie fucking filling MSG fucking. It's so terrible for you, but tastes so good.
Kebab and chips in a tray.
It's banging. Yeah, kebab and chips in a tray.
I essentially had it when I was a kid. I used to get cheese and chips with garlic and barbecue sauce. Don't even judge.
Yep.
With doner meat. Or mixed meat.
No, that's HSP. That's literally HSP, except that you can add cheese to it.
Can you bring a bag of goon for Azzy when you come over?
I am certain that we could get a bag of goon in the UK really easy.
What is goon?
Because what you guys think is like goon's just like cheap fucking wine, bro. It's like super cheap wine, and like there's a whole thing of drinking it here as like when you grow up and stuff.
It's fucking
gives you the worst
Buckfast.
hangover.
It's basically Buckfast.
It's just bagged wine.
It's man.
Shitty bagged wine, and like we drink it off clotheslines as like a drinking game.
What?
Like, you hang the bag off the clothesline and then you stand around and you spin the clothesline. Whoever it lands on has to drink out of it. I think I did it once, but it's like a tradition. It's not really a huge tradition. There's more traditions here that are like more common than that, but yeah, that's one of them.
It's not like a brand, it's a slang term for cheap ass wine. There you go.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like the shittest, cheapest wine you can find in a bag, like a silver bag that you can squeeze out.
You're going to say it, Aussies do their laundry right. What is the right way, Hugs? Like on a clothesline? Shoeies? Coltz is very well acquainted with shoeies. How did that start? Did you used to do shoeies before streaming?
Yeah, I'd done it before streaming. Yeah. So it was like you grow up here, you know what a shoey is, sort of thing. It's like ridiculous. But it used to be a big thing with like metal bands and stuff back in the day. They'd do shoeies, Australian ones, and it was like Parkway Drive. Like everyone knows who Parkway Drive is. They sort of like were doing that shit pretty early, and yeah, we I don't know, it just became a thing. Hey, I don't even know if it was Australia that pioneered it, to be honest, but it became known as an Australian thing very quickly.
Yeah, like
I think we did pioneer it, but I don't have any factual like thing for it. I've just always known what it is.
You want one? Thank you. Because I'm in the middle of a podcast. I'm okay, thanks.
Hello, Tara.
She's trying to provide me with ice creams. It is warm. We're having an Australian summer at the moment. She got like 4 different types of ice creams.
What a legend.
Like, do you want a Solero?
That's awesome.
I'm alright at the moment. Yeah, so Aussies, I definitely put Aussies with shoeies, but do you do dirty pints? That's when you've got
What's
a group
that?
of you all drinking different drinks, and you put little bits.
Pour it all into one?
Yeah, and then someone has to
Yeah,
drink the dirty pint.
that's called a King's Cup here for some reason.
A King's Cup? Okay.
Yeah, because it's a drinking game where you like play these cards, and then every turn somebody pours a little bit into this thing, and then the loser of the game has to drink the King's Cup, and it's just a mixture of every fucking drink that's been on the table. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, what do we call it? Do you guys call it King's Cup? Because I used to call it Ring of Fire. Kings for contribution. Yeah, Mav is saying it used to be called King's Cup as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's probably fucking English, and now it's thingy here. I don't know.
Yeah, we called in Wales we called it Ring of Fire.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Any other questions you lads got? Yeah. If we're staying on top of food and drink or Australian things.
There's shitloads more culture stuff that's not even related to food that we have. That's like I could probably tell more people about, like in person and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
King's Cup in your earlier days. If you draw a king, you contribute to the dirty pint. If you draw the 4th king, you drink it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Mav wants to know your go-to pizza toppings. You have 4 toppings. That doesn't include cheese. That doesn't include your base and cheese.
Pepperoni with chili flakes is my fucking one of my top ones. So pepperoni pizza, and then you just get like chili flakes on it. It's fucking amazing.
Okay.
I do like pineapple on pizza. Yes. It has to be on the right pizza, but I do. Yeah.
The one in the bin.
But I like pineapple on pizza because we like pineapple in general. A lot of us in Australia, like pineapple's like a big thing here. It's like it goes with a lot of shit. Not everyone likes it, but I like it. I think like I don't know. Pineapple's dope. So I would say pepperoni with chili flakes and chicken and avocado. I really like chicken avocado pizzas. They're
chicken avocado?
Yeah, it's like this one from Pizza Capers here that's like slaps. It's like got this. It's got fucking what's that sauce called? It's like that yellow sauce. I can't remember the name right now. Someone's gonna say it, and it's gonna piss me off that I can't name it right now.
What would you call yellow sauce for a pizza? Chicken and avocado pizza with yellow sauce.
It's not mustard. It's
not mustard. Is it just for pizzas, or like mainly on pizzas?
No, like they have it on other stuff too. Hang on, I'll look it up because it's pissing me off that I can't think of it.
It's not hollandaise, is it?
Hollandaise!
It is hollandaise. So you have chicken and avocado on a pizza with hollandaise sauce.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. Trust me.
What?
It's fucking amazing.
We need to try hollandaise sauce on a pizza.
Yeah, dude, it's so good, bro. Chicken and avocado pizza, like barbecue chicken, avocado with like hollandaise sauce. It's fucking amazing.
Cheers, Floppy.
But yeah, the traditional pizza, as far as that goes, I'd go pepperoni with chili flakes. That slaps.
Law has asked Tim Tams or penguins. He's already said Tim Tams are iconic. And he's
I don't
not
know what
penguin.
penguins are either. I'd imagine that's probably like the shitty British version. So
I need a pizza tonight. Chicken, avocado, and hollandaise sauce. Who would make? Who would do hollandaise sauce on a pizza? Someone with no taste buds. Tara's just said.
No, trust me, it's actually good. She'll be surprised. It's amazing.
We need to find that, guys. We need to find somewhere that makes hollandaise sauce for a pizza takeout. Yeah, isn't it like really runny for you? Like the sauce? Because like hollandaise sauce for us is like for like eggs Benedict. So like eggs on an English muffin.
It's not super runny, no. It's like it's almost like a tomato sauce version of it, but it's good.
It's like it's the consistency of like mayonnaise and tomato sauce. We need to find that.
It's fucking so good. Trust me. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll see you a photo.
egg yolk, butter, and lemon juice so it can be stodgier. If I'm ordering a pizza at Hags, I am not making my own hollandaise sauce, dude. I can't even poach an egg. I'm not making hollandaise sauce. He eats pineapple on pizza. How much can you trust his recommendations? This is true. This is very true.
Dude, that's the pizza. Look at it. It's fucking amazing.
That's the pizza.
Just tell her to trust me. It's so good.
I don't know why hollandaise, but that's chicken and avocado. Tara says, why not with ranch? Or Caesar?
I mean, it probably works with ranch, but for some reason it works with hollandaise so much. I don't know.
Do you get ranch over there? Like, is ranch like a sauce you can easily get?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
No way do they do it, Mav. No way do they do it. Chicken, bacon, and avocado. Topped with hollandaise sauce and... Oh, you're on Australia Domino's. I got excited then.
Dude, it's a whole thing, man. I'm telling you, hollandaise here on pizza is like a slapper. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Is it raw avocado or is it like cooked avocado?
It's like I wouldn't. No, it's not like cooked in. It's not like crimpy and cooked.
Tara's getting intrigued about this now. You got me excited then, Mav. You give us the link, and I thought it was like a British one. I'm gonna sit.
So
I'm gonna sit there tonight and look at like pizzas and how good pizzas are gonna be. Say again.
Honestly, when we come over there, Kelly can probably make it.
There you go. Kelly's making us hollandaise pizza.
She could probably make it for us. I'll ask her.
They let you put creme fraiche on a pizza? What? All right, now I feel a bit disjointed that I can't order that cool stuff on what do you call it? In Britain. You guys are going to talk about food for hours. I know you are.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's such a good topic to like converse about on stream too. It's so good.
Food is so dangerous, man, because you can talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, and then you get off and you're like, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, you're hungry as. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You could do forever. Yeah, true. So we spoke about some of the lesser iconic Australian traditions.
Yep.
Where do you see yourself in 3 years? I'm giving you a spin-off. One to not expect.
In my career or in general?
Yeah, in career life. Where do you see yourself in 3 years that you could be happy with?
3 years, I think. Ideally, I want to have a much bigger YouTube following. Still streaming. And just a bigger following, so I have more space, I guess, more opportunity. Like, you get those guys, they reach that certain point and it just doesn't matter what you do, you're kind of chilling.
Yeah.
And it gives you opportunity to sort of take different content arcs. I want to feel that freedom without the stress, and it happens when you get to a certain point.
Yep.
So just growth across the board till I get to that point and I'm established. And if I can still, that'll be me doing it for 5 years, 5 and a bit years. That's a big deal, if I've managed to do it for that long. So that'll be awesome. I've thought about this a little bit. If I can get a decade out of content creation as a career, I'll be stoked.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it for 2 now, and it's like if I can get a decade that I can actually build a future off, that'd be huge. But either way, a decade out of it would be amazing. And just bigger, more opportunities as far as that goes, as far as freedom on what I want to do, and just a little bit more financially stable, and potentially have a savings towards a house or
okay,
and a better car. So I want to have a better vehicle and savings towards a house.
Yeah, like you said, just a bit of freedom.
Yeah, just a bit more stable, and I think that only comes just with grinding and with time and just chipping away at it, and consistency. And honestly, like if it all goes well, I'd say I'd be engaged by then.
Nice.
I'd say so. Like I know that sounds real cheesy, but I'd imagine.
No, man, you got to look forward to things.
Yeah.
You gotta
Because
think
like
and plan these
I
things.
don't want to be that bloke who's like 40 and not in a stable relationship.
You still got plenty of
Like,
time,
there's
dude.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not shitting on anybody who's like that. But I just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. I grew up. I was very, very fortunate with my family growing up. Like, my dad and mum have been together for like since I was born. So it's they've been together for quite a while, and like, um, yeah, it's been amazing. I've just had such good role models as far as that goes. Like, they're very solid. They're best friends. They're partners in crime. Like,
Yeah.
I've been very lucky, and I know a lot of people don't have that, man,
Yeah.
and a lot of my friends don't even have that. So it's like, it's just a beautiful thing, like, to have had that, and it's not lost on me. I think talking about this stuff, I talk about it from a perspective of gratitude and never from a perspective of like, I'm better than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I just am really grateful to have had that as an example. My dad always treated my mum like an absolute queen, and my mum's always been this absolute rock for the family, and it's just been cool. So I think striving towards that has like definitely helped with how I look at like families and things like that. What I want. Yeah, everybody has a dream and stuff, and ideally one day I just want to be able to have a small family that I can take care of, you know,
Yeah.
and do that by doing the things that I love doing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You
that's
guys in
me,
chat,
man.
guess how old Coltz is. He's not going to tell you until you all guess. Zid
I'm
is
not gonna
saying
tell him anyways. I've had a meme going on for like 2.5 years, man. It's not stopping now.
you can keep that meme then. Zid is saying Zid is saying you can't be 30. Laura's
not 30,
saying
no.
mid to late 20s.
Laura be around. Yeah, Laura be pretty spot on.
Mel just saying 31. He's definitely younger than myself. Laura's 26.
Laura's pretty close.
There you
I
go.
can't tell you exactly, but I'm around there.
There you go. He can't tell you because it's a meme in his community.
Dude, it has been forever, and no one knows. And I would feel so sad if it wasn't a meme anymore.
Yeah. Your plan failed. There you go, Zid. You tried.
Yeah,
you tried
Zed's always
getting
trying to figure out how old I am, bro. He's always trying.
But then that means, like, when you come to, like, a big one, like, I don't know, 30, are you just going to play it off as a normal one on the community and just be like, yeah, it's my birthday? Or are you going to be like,
I might
oh, fucking A, it's my fucking 30th?
I might tell him one day, man. Like, I don't really care too much. I think I'm a lot younger than where I am anyways as well. Like, I've always had a very, like, happy-go-lucky, like, youthful mindset, I guess.
Yeah.
At times it's obviously faded and I've become more serious and, like, disconnected, but I definitely grew up like a very, like, I don't know, man. You get
Young
it,
at heart,
like,
man.
you're just childish. Like, I'm just childish. Like, I'm just an idiot. I can be an adult when it matters, but I don't take myself too seriously. So
When did you finish school and start the landscaping gig?
yeah,
Straight after he finished school, that's when he started his landscaping gig.
started straight after I finished. Yeah,
Men are just big
so
boys.
I've just always been like that, and I've always like sort of taken care of myself enough to sort of remain youthful, and that's sort of the goal to remain that way. And
so
yeah,
you said, like, your 3-year goal, you want to have pretty much the whole idea of it is freedom. You want a bit of financial freedom. You want freedom on what content you provide, and like the choices of content that you put out. What's your goal? Let's just say for the next year. What's your goal for content? What type of content? What do you want to provide?
I want to be seen as an FPS, like somebody who like to be considered when it comes to like top-notch FPS.
You want to be known to be good, like, basically.
Yeah. So
okay.
like I've like, after playing Twitch Rivals, I played Twitch Rivals for BattleBit recently, as you know, and I was very lucky. And I played against Shroud, and I played against Summit, and I played against It's Timmy, and I got killed by Shroud. I killed Shroud, and I got killed by Timmy, and I killed Timmy, and all I could think the whole time, every time I died to Shroud and Timmy especially, was like, oh my fucking god, they're insane.
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking, there's a reason they're insane. They're literally professional gamers. And I'm like, I'm not a professional gamer, but like, I do game for a living. So it's like, I just had this idea spark of like, I come from competitive CS. If I had have stuck with it from when I was that age, there's who knows where I'd be now, right? Like, I was pretty decent, I think, in my eyes. Like without sound, like I'm not. So, I don't like having an ego, and I don't like gassing myself up. I really hate the idea of being a boastful, bragful person.
Yeah.
I hate saying this shit, but it's like I have to also be honest, and I think like I would have been all right. You know, I would have been reasonable level. I played quite a high level of CS. I played like against some of the top players now, and so I was like. Well, I don't do that, and a lot of the games that I've played as a streamer have taken away from that sharp, fast, twitchy, like competitive edge that you get. Like you kind of lax a little bit. And then you know what's crazy is like you can still be considered this like decent at FPS by playing games like Tarkov and ripping heads off. But it's like if you take that same Tarkov aim into other games, you're not quite on par with these other guys that play FPS at a top level.
And I've said this for years, dude.
Yeah,
I got hate mail for this comment, dude. I got hate mail and death
all
threats.
I could think was like, I'm really not that good and I could be better. So I was like, you know what? For the next year or so, I'm just going to play like CS and Valorant and stuff and challenge the fuck out of myself and make a series that people can keep track of and actually try and make it like dramatic content of like, this dude who plays mediocre FPS tries to become a fucking demon because I've been inspired by guys who are absolute demons. And you know, in a year, I'd like to be known as somebody who fucking kicks ass at like a ranked, you know, tactical shooter.
You'd be known within a ranked get-up.
And be known, yeah, because like you see those guys that like you see these guys these people that blow up within those scenes that aren't pros. They don't play for an organization, but they're content creators for an organization because they're cracked as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why can't I do that? There's no reason. So I'm like, I'll start documenting my journey and I'll start doing that shit and I'd like to have a name for that because then from there, if I'm known as that, I can branch into whatever. Like Shroud can play whatever the fuck he wants. He played Diablo 4, he played Baldur's Gate, he played, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's still Shroud. He's still the god FPS. And it's like, I don't expect to get that big. I have no, you know, delusions about that. But if I can get known as somebody to be considered in any FPS game as somebody you'd be stoked to have on your team, if you were playing in like a Twitch Rivals for an FPS game, then I'll be happy about that. And it's like mainly for myself, to be honest with you. It's not even really to do with everyone recognizing me. It's to do with me recognizing that I'm capable of doing that because I've worked at it.
Yeah.
And so in a year I'd like to be known as that.
I had a similar
background.
I know you
do. Yeah, I know you do.
Like, I was a sponsored professional Call of Duty player, and then I had a break because of life. And then when I came back, I was like, I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to jump on Tarkov because that looks like a very rewarding but skillful game to play. After about 2 years, I realized what you kind of said, that you could transfer the aim, or like, you know, just the core mechanics of aiming in Tarkov to an arena shooter like Valorant or CS. That doesn't hold anything. Like, it's not transferable.
It holds a little bit, but it's not like, it's a completely different ball game, you know?
Yeah. Like
whereas like coming from CS, right, to go into Tarkov, you could transfer those skills really easily.
Oh, madly. Yeah, madly.
Yeah.
And that's like, I lately, even like off stream, I've been playing like a few games of Counter-Strike here and there. And I can feel like my younger self being like, come on, get back into this. Like, you can do this and play this.
It gets you. You're like, yep.
You proper get stuck in. And Coltz has said you're a full-time streamer that plays competitively. You're a professional gamer by definition.
That's true, yeah.
Might not be an expert, but possibly more the definition you're chasing.
I would like to reach pro status if that's possible. I don't think it is. But, like, let's say I play enough and I reach the top ranks of something. Yeah. You start playing against pros. If I can get to a point where, like, I could be playing in a pro league if I wanted to, I'd be stoked.
Yeah, would you... Because that's something that I thought about when I was, like, just starting streaming. Would you want to go pro? Because pro would also mean, you know, move into sponsored housing and stuff like that, and like living away. That's something that I wasn't comfortable with. I'm happy.
I don't want to be a pro, but I want to be at that level where I could be. That's what I want.
You don't want to be a pro, but you want to be recognized that you could be.
Yeah, I want to be recognized. Yeah, so I have the skill. Yeah.
So what's the game?
More so, I want to be able to recognize myself.
So what's the game that you're going to be grinding then? What's the game that you're going to be grinding?
At the moment, it's Valorant. But CS2 could change that, and it could be CS2, depending on how good it is with its full release.
Yeah.
If it garners if it does well and it has good reviews, because I've played it recently, and some of the movement feels terrible on it compared to CS.
So did CS:GO when it came out.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
so
it's true.
like, give it like
so
3 or
CS,
4 months.
it could be CS2. It really could be, but I am genuinely enjoying Valorant too. Valorant's a lot of fun, and Valorant is a really good streaming tactical shooter. Because it's colorful and has abilities and skill ceilings really high because of all the abilities. And
which one do you prefer?
It's a really good streaming one.
Because we'll argue about this on stream all the time. And everyone has different opinions. Which one do you think is the better game, and which one do you think takes more skill out of CS? Just CS in general and Valorant.
I think Valorant takes more skill because there's way more abilities to learn. You have to. There's way more mechanics. There's just more mechanics. CS has been the same mechanics for 20 years.
Yep.
Valorant's mechanics are way more variables, but I think that it's so transferable, the skill sets, as far as aiming and crosshair placement and like baiting and like flanking and lurking and the strats and stuff like that. The difference is with CS, it's like they've had the same pop flashes, the same smokes, things like that for years, right? Whereas Valorant is actually constantly changing. There is new metas all the time because
Different
they're constantly changing the characters and the balances of the characters and the balances of this and that. And new agents, new maps. Like, I think Valorant takes more skill because of that. That is the sole reason, is because it's a constantly changing, updated game with more variables. But as far as I can't separate the two as like who I think like, let's say you take a pro Valorant player and a pro CS player. If they both have insane aim, if they were to 1v1 each other on an even map without abilities, it's like it's 50-50 sort of thing. Like, just who performs better on the day. I think that Valorant gets a lot of hate because of the generations that are involved playing it. And the audience.
Yeah.
It attracts like more of a Zoomer audience at times.
Yeah.
But I also think that shouldn't detract from the fact that it's like, it takes a lot of skill and stuff. I think that CS2 is going to be huge, and I think that people who have been grinding Valorant for a while and are sick of it will go play CS2 and expect something new, but end up in the same fucking predicament because it's every ranked game that like takes skill and you have to solo queue and do all this sort of shit. They all have the same problems. It's not the game. It's the way people approach it. It's the same as League of Legends. It's like League of Legends is toxic as fuck and really hard, but so is CS:GO and so is Valorant. And if you can work your way through that somehow, like, there's a little bit of RNG involved, obviously, but like if you can be somebody who can carry and work off teammates' mistakes and things like that, you will grind up gradually. Like my youngest brother, he's about to hit plat in League of Legends, and that's the highest anyone in our like friends group has ever been.
Okay.
Like, we've all played League, and like we've all sort of sat silver, sort of low gold, like mostly bronze, and it's like he's about to hit plat, and he's literally just done it by like just being the carry that like carries. He like proper tells people where to go and like directs the team and things like that, and just becomes unstoppable himself. And it's like, he couldn't do that a couple of years ago. None of us could do that. Like, none of us still, like, a bunch of them still, like, I don't play League, but they all play and stuff like that. And it's like, there's just levels to like how you become aware and like how you carry and stuff like that. I remember like I was Immortal 2 on Valorant, I think Immortal 2 or Immortal 3, which is 1 or 2 below where the top rank is Radiant.
Okay.
At the moment.
But
they have a new part now called Ascendant. There's like a whole nother level in there. So it goes like Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Ascendant, then Immortal. But it used to go Diamond, Immortal when I played. And then top rank. So I used to be up there. And that was literally just because I was like capable and in tune with game mechanics. And I was just grinding it. I knew what I was doing. Whereas now, coming back to the game, I'm like pushing to try and get back to Diamond. I'm like high plat, trying to push into Diamond. And I'm not ready for it because I haven't played. I haven't grinded it. I haven't learned the mechanics. I'm out of position a lot. I whiff shots that I shouldn't whiff. And it's like, it's all improvement. And sometimes you don't get that improvement by just simply playing. You have to review and learn and
reflect on your gameplay
and grow. Yeah, and it's like that's the challenge I enjoy, and I'm a big like take on a challenge person. I don't like gaming for the sake of gaming anymore now that I make content.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't just want to jump on and play a game. There's a reason
I
why
want it to
you're
be
jumping
entertaining.
on.
Because like, why the fuck would anyone want to watch me just play a game? They'll go play the game themselves. You know, it's like I have to be doing something that I think like brings an entertainment value to it, an entertainment factor. So it's like, for me, it's like, all right, cool. If I'm playing this game, it's a single player game, but I'll play it on the hardest difficulty and I'll do a hardcore challenge, and it might be punishing, but it's like people get more out of that.
Yeah.
Than me just playing it, because like Starfield's out, right? It's like I've been playing this hardcore mode and stuff. People are enjoying it, but it's like if I wasn't doing that, they probably wouldn't be enjoying it as much because they could just play it themselves. It's just a normal playthrough.
True. Mal, you're saying where do you have to operate to be an expert? Do you mean out of your comfort zone? Is that what you're going?
What's
I think. That? Melge says, where do you have to operate to be an expert? And I think he means out of your comfort zone. I believe. Because we've all watched a video on my community. You know it takes 1,000 hours to master a skill?
Yep.
We've watched like a deep dive of that, and it's not the fact that it takes 10,000 hours to master the skill. It takes 10,000 hours to become, pretty good at the skill. There's several thousand hours more after that you need to actually invest your time in and get out of your comfort zone to be able to improve. Because if you just completely stay in your comfort zone, you're never going to change the way you're doing things, meaning you're never going to improve.
Yeah.
All I can say is after watching Coltz play Valorant is that he really sees the minimap. Is it really sees or really sees? Something about the minimap on Valorant?
Oh yeah, I get caught looking at it at the wrong times and people shoot me. Because it's like it's huge map awareness, and I'll glance up and then I just get CS timing and someone peeks me.
What's your highest total level character in old school RuneScape?
I used to have like a pure. I don't have it anymore. So currently, the only account I have is the pure that I've been building on stream a little bit, and we'll probably be doing like AFK off stream for a while now, because that we've sort of changed courses with that a little bit. But I think it's like 56, 57, something like that total, like combat, and then it's got like high. It's one defense, but it's got like high combat stats. So
what's your plan with your streams and your content in the next couple of weeks? Because you've got Starfield at the moment.
I'm gonna finish Starfield.
Okay.
And do like content within that, still playing that like quite a bit for a little while. So for the next week or so, but back to Valorant ranked grind because it's a new season.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do, instead of playing RuneScape stream, I'm just gonna do WoW hardcore streams again because the new official servers are out. Yeah, and I'm really excited about it. And I really love WoW hardcore. As much as I don't know a whole bunch about it, I just love the vibes, and I have really good chatting vibes with the community when I play it. And I have a whole video like script that I wrote up for it of like how to actually frame that in a video sense that won't suit my current YouTube channel because it's all FPS shit, but I'll just make it on another YouTube channel and put it out because I still think it'll do well.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
But I have to put the time in to actually edit that as well, because I wrote the narration for it, and I wrote the intro. I wrote it like it's all a big spiel that I wrote. Like I'm really good at writing the ideas for it, but it's piecing it together in the editing that I fucking procrastinate a lot about.
It happens, man. But it's not like you just sat there twiddling your thumbs. You're just doing other things, which is time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Have you guys got any other questions before we let Mr. Coltz go, because it is getting late for him, or early, depends what you want to call it.
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. I know I'm gonna be up late tonight anyway, so
fair.
Like I've already planned that. I told everyone, I said I'll be up fucking stupid hours. So because I gotta. It doesn't matter what time we finish this, because I still clean and everything, and I'm still gonna be doing that.
So Coltz has a house inspection tomorrow, so he had to stream today, get off stream, start cleaning, do this, and then he's got streaming. Sorry, cleaning again after this. What mic do you use? What microphone is that?
It is a SE X
Sex.
SE. Yeah, no, it's like SE microphones X1 or X2 or something. But it's it's actually the mic I used to record my vocals on for my demos and stuff.
Nice.
And I just turn it into a streaming mic. It does have a pop filter, but it broke recently, and I can still stick it on. It still works, but I just thought fuck it and left it off today.
There you go. The SE X1 mic. What's the next upgrade for your setup, your stream?
I want a 240 hertz monitor
Okay.
for gaming on, because the input delay and stuff like that, and just helps with especially like
Valorant and CS.
Huge, yeah. So 240 hertz monitor is what I really want next. But I also I don't know, like I've got probably a graphics card upgrade, to be honest, because I've got a 3070 at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it runs Starfield all right. Like, it runs it quite well. It runs everything quite well. Like, I've got quite a decent PC. But I'd really like to just hit like a 4080, 4090 or something like that, Like, and then that way I've just like fully future-proofed and I can do everything on one rig. Because right now I'm still running two PCs, but when I come over to the UK, I'll be streaming off the one. And I think it'll handle it fine, especially with Valorant and easy games like that. But I'm just, obviously, if you get a beast, then you've got a beast, sort of thing.
I'm on a 2060 on one computer setup, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, see, that's wild. Yeah.
Zerda said, what is the most thing you've done in the last year outside of streaming? And don't say Kelly. That's what he put, not me.
The most thing I've done?
The most fun thing you've done in the last year outside of streaming.
Outside of streaming.
Yeah. And then we'll do inside of streaming.
I've played like a couple of golf days with my mates, like all of our mates, for like different birthdays and stuff in the last couple of years, like the last year, where all of my friends that don't always get together. We've all been friends for a long time, and we all, had a few beers and played together and stuff, and Kelly got to be a part of it and stuff, and it was just a really great time, just really wholesome, like fun days, lots of banter. Probably those days, to be honest. Yeah.
And what is the most fun thing you can recall on your stream? That you had fun, not your chat, you. What's one of the highlights?
I've probably got a few. I know playing Beautiful Light playtest with you was definitely one of them.
I love that, dude. I love that.
I remember how like that just felt like I was just purely like in it the whole time, so that was great. And I didn't second guess anything. I was just focused entirely on that. My subathon recently was amazing.
Yeah.
I really felt backed and really felt like my core community like was there, and yeah, that was a huge success. We did 11 days, and we actually called it at 11 days because I needed to get off to do life shit, but we could have kept going, to be honest. It was fucking amazing. We probably still had like a whole day, I think a whole 24 hours left on the clock when we stopped. But
Diablo launch, wasn't
it? Yeah, that was fucking amazing. That was the most fun because we just did a bunch of shit on stream, and like I would just wake up and I was exhausted. I was so fucked at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember just being like, that was fucking great, I was so sick, and like just I don't know, like a lot of fun, a lot of different games, a lot of really cool times, a lot of cool people, a lot of cool conversations, just a lot of like backing and support and like kind words, and yeah, that was great. Like played a bunch of games, played BattleBit when it came out.
Yeah.
Like it was Diablo into BattleBit, and then and then my WoW streams, to be honest. That's why I'm kind of going back to the WoW Hardcore, because the WoW streams have honestly been some of the funniest moments and funnest moments. Usually me dying, but it's like hilarious. And just the conversations we have when I play WoW always just turn like hilarious. I don't know what it is, but like there's just a good vibe. It's like everyone just expects it to be a just chatting vibe, so it kind of works.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that goes well again if we do it on the official servers and get a few people in here, and that's really fun. I like, yeah, just a lot of crack up moments playing WoW.
Favorite genre of the game to play outside of an FPS?
MMOs.
There you go, Law.
Yeah, hands down. Yeah, you guys know that. Like, you know that. Like,
Mm.
New World, WoW, OSRS, Guild Wars 2 back in the day when I was a kid. Like, yeah, MMORPGs, hands down. I fucking love them. I love an MMO grind. I love exploring an MMO world. I love immersing in that shit.
What's your thoughts on the latest New World updates?
I got sent the video. I haven't watched it yet. I got sent like the
won't
full
spoil
video
it.
for it. They were like, have a look. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
something to bring everyone back.
Yeah. Well, that's what Sean told me. One of my mods, Sean from Sydney. You know Sean.
Yeah.
He's like, it looks pretty good. But yeah, if I'm not playing FPS, I'm playing MMOs. That's like, but I do that both on stream now. Like I used to separate them. I used to be like, nah. But I literally like have started to make a point of like, I'm either playing FPS or I'm playing MMOs. Like I'm doing both. I don't want to, like, I have too much fun doing them both that I don't want to just lock into FPS and then not do it.
Yeah.
I've made a point of doing both, and I'm going to continue to make a point of doing both. So.
And your community are enjoying it as well, aren't they? Because anytime I like pop in,
there, yeah.
Everyone's like,
It's
are you playing this
getting
later today, or you're going to play in this soon? Like, especially like old school RuneScape. If I pop up in the mornings, people are like, are you playing old school RuneScape later today? And so it's a good thing. Like, I'm guessing the fact that you've been so direct that you want to play these types of games, that your community are like, okay, we expect it kind of thing. Whereas if you just like jumped back and forth, everyone just gets confused. You know, the whole typical, when you're playing Tarkov. Do you not play Tarkov anymore?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I still get the question, man. It's like they go on like literally yesterday.
I go on today.
It's like, oh, you're not playing this wipe. Yeah. You're not playing this wipe. Yeah. It's like, I'm actually surprised I didn't get asked today, to be honest. It's crazy.
It's
first day in a while, but yeah. You're not playing this wipe. It's like, no, I'm not.
No.
I've said it so many times. But yeah. They're not here for every time you say it, so it's like.
It is. It happens because that's what you've built your pillars on.
Well, if I look at I went through my like Twitch tracker, like just before actually, because we were talking about it in stream. We were talking about those stats and stuff. I was a smaller streamer that had been watching me for a while. I was asking questions and I was talking about stats and stuff. And it made me think, I should have a look. And I have ridiculous spikes in my like graphs when it comes to Tarkov and drops. Like the follower spikes were insane. Like I have 14,000 followers, but I'd say 10,000 of them. No, I'd probably say 9,000 of them. 8 or 9,000 are from Tarkov. Like 75, 85% are from Tarkov.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't even watch my channel anymore. They haven't clicked on my channel in fucking months. So
yeah. And Law says that's the problem with being known for a particular style of game or an exact game you've built on. People have an expectation of you to play them. Yeah, true. But
yeah, that's the thing. But so there's a thing with that, and as you'll probably agree, there's a beauty to being known for one type of game if you get big enough with that game. Like if you reach where I reach, it doesn't matter because it's not high enough.
Yeah.
But if you reach like Glorious E or Pestilence, like are those, it doesn't matter now. They're just at that unstoppable point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's a beauty to it, and it's good being known for a particular style of game for sure, absolutely. But
it's also a hindrance as well.
One, the discipline to stick in it, and two, it has to have legs.
Yes.
Yeah. Like let's say Marathon comes out, which is the Bungie extraction shooter, right? And it's a banger, right? I will balls deep dive into that bitch, and that motherfucker is going to be like my all-time grind. And if it has legs, I will happily play that game non-stop, and just that.
I feel the same about currently Dark and Darker, but obviously you've got to plan ahead. You've got to think, is the game going to,
And like, when are you gonna burn out too? Like, do
Yeah,
you think you're gonna burn out on it? Like, yeah. And how are you gonna stop yourself from doing that? Like,
yeah.
this is all things that you didn't think about, and I didn't think about a year ago. Like, you know
No,
what? You don't think
not at
about that
all.
shit.
You
But
just
it's like
ride the
now you've
wave.
burnt out on some things. Now you
Yeah.
know what it's like. Now you're like, how do I not burn out?
Dark and Darker and Beautiful Light. They're the two I've got my eyes on.
Yeah.
And Mal just said, question, will Glorious or Pestily be around after EFT dies? Dies down, rather.
Pest will absolutely.
Well,
He's
Pest
got
is,
enough.
he's cemented his foundations to
He's cemented.
anything.
Yeah, he's good.
He is
Yeah.
anything. But
That
what about
dude's-
Glorious?
He's sweet. Because people don't just watch him for Tarkov anymore. Like Pest is an internet personality for sure.
He is, yes. He's
Yeah.
to the size that he can do anything he wants. He's got podcasts,
Yes, literally doesn't matter.
hiking.
Glorious will for sure, absolutely still, but not on the same level as Pest. Like he would drop to, I don't know, if I had to guess, he'd drop to 1,000 as far rather than 5,000. You know?
Yeah. So obviously this is all
If he had
speculation
most
for anyone
of us.
watching. But
Yeah, this is all speculation. This is not like there's no way this.
there's no stats or
saying.
graphs anywhere here. This is
Yeah.
just our thoughts.
But like, if I had to guess, like he's obviously not as big as Pest, but also like Pest has already shown that he can branch into other things. If that makes sense. That's the only reason I'm saying that.
So off,
like-
off the top of your head, obviously we don't know Glorious, and we're just using Glorious's name because he's a huge streamer in Tarkov.
Yeah. Oh, it's just an example. Just an example. Yeah.
What game do you think he would go to? What's his transferable game?
I think Glorious could be. He's big from CS, so he could play CS2 easily.
Hmm.
He started in CS. Any extraction shooter.
You could say this about anyone, like, like Landmark,
yeah,
and stuff like
But
that.
any you can. So pivoting is huge in our industry. Pivoting's huge, and you have to know when to pivot and like what time and like all that sort of shit. And I'm only just learning that shit.
You learn
like,
when to pivot after you've learned that you're too late to pivot the first time.
Yeah. See, like all of my pivots have been too late,
Yes,
poorly timed,
yes.
like too early, like they've been not good.
Yes.
But yeah, I think
But we're
I think
naming.
that they can.
Go on.
They can pivot.
But we're naming, like, specifically those people we're naming, all three of those individuals are known for being good at the game. They rather than, like, Pestily now is like an internet personality, but Landmark, the first thing you think about Landmark is he's a wrecking ball in Tarkov. Like,
Nah, he's a personality now too, bro.
do you think he's a personality now?
Yeah, I reckon he is too. Yeah, 100%. Bro, he got invited to like an Apex event and like 20,000 people tuned in.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I'm not in the world anymore. I'm too busy.
Oh, I just remember seeing a Twitter clip of it, but it's like he had fucking crazy viewers.
Hmm.
And he played like the DMZ event and like people were all over it. It's like he's a personality. They love Tony.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Last one then. We'll finish it off. If you had more time and energy to take up another hobby, what are you looking at? Just
It's
a hobby,
toss-up between
not a
two
career.
things. Oh, it's a toss up between two things. I would start playing football again,
Okay.
just because I miss kicking a ball a lot.
Yeah.
Or I would get into Warhammer 40k painting.
Is that big in Australia?
I think it's just big everywhere. Yeah, like for the people that are in it, if that makes sense. It's like if you're in that niche, you're in that niche. You know what I mean? And like even if you're not in the niche, you're kind of aware of it now.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you will be in the next 2 years when the Henry Cavill series comes out. It's going to be bigger. So.
Do you think that's gonna blow up?
Oh, fucking oath, bro. No, there's no way they get that wrong.
You
I
say
don't think
that.
so,
Look at The
'cause I
Witcher.
think- No. See, but that's not on him though. He wasn't running that shit. He tried his best to stick to the books. He tried his best. They fought him tooth and nail on it.
But
I think that Henry Cavill is a genuine nerd.
no,
and I
he's an
love that.
absolute nerd.
Yeah, and I think that that's going to be so good for that series because he's at the helm. And also, not only that, it's already written. The story's already written. Like the law's there. They just have to stick to it. And the beautiful part about that too, you know what's really cool about it as well? Is like, it's a fucking cool universe, man. But nobody know. Like the people who don't know about it, they don't know about it. But wait till they have their eyes open to it. You know what I mean? Like wait till they get shown that universe. They're gonna be like, oh, this is a thing. Oh, this has been a thing forever. Oh, what? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're gonna Google and be like, when did Warhammer come out?
Have you ever listened to a Warhammer audiobook? Have you ever read one of the books from that fucking universe?
I've had an
They're
audiobook.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're so good.
So you heard it here.
They're
Coltz is a
fucking awesome.
big nerd.
Dude, I'm a massive nerd. I was an athlete growing up, but I'm a massive nerd.
He's a
dude.
closet nerd. When
Dude,
you were growing up.
Yeah, for real.
So Warhammer.
No, actually, I wasn't even closet, bro. No, I wasn't
No?
even closet. I literally flaunted this sort of shit on the football pitch,
Hmm?
like at training and stuff. Like we would talk about games. I wasn't even a closet. Like it was, yeah.
You have all the Warhammer books. Don't judge. No judgment here, man. No judgment at all. I used to go to what's the shops? Games Workshops.
Games Workshop.
I used to go to them every
that's
Saturday
one thing
mornings.
I'm doing when I come over to. I'm going to Warhammer World.
Warhammer World, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to these Games Workshops
like
every Saturday morning.
HQ.
And this was before it was cool, and then I realized how much money Games Workshops were.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's crazy.
Like
it's absurd.
When I had
and it's look, honestly, there's a good chance that like it either gets more expensive or becomes more saturated after the series.
I remember asking my mum for a Juggernaut, and my mum was like, "How much is it? Oh, how big is it?" I was like, "It's like this big." How much is it? And I was like, 30 quid, and she's like, absolutely no chance. I was like,
yeah,
I need it for my army. Like,
yeah, see, I never got them as a kid either for that same reason, too expensive.
Yeah.
But I saved up enough money when I was like 15 to buy Khorne Berserkers for the first time, like the Chaos guys. And then I never painted them because I couldn't afford to get paints, and just went on to do other shit. And then sold that like plastic set a couple of years later on like Facebook Marketplace or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then, anyways, when I became an adult and I started building, I was like, oh, "Fuck, I got money now. I'm fucking fucking buy some." Like, and I bought the box set. I bought like Space Marines and Necrons, like the starter set, and then painted half of it, and then got caught up streaming and haven't painted since. But like, I have a whole look.
We're getting them now, lads. We're getting them.
I got the whole fucking Tyranid box here, man, that I can't fucking paint because I don't have time.
Do it on stream.
It's a fucking start collecting Tyranids box and I can't paint it.
All right, we're telling him to do this on stream.
Like, because I just don't have time. But so if I had the time, that would probably be one of the hobbies I'd take up, to be honest.
Right.
Successfully nerd baited. Bro, I don't care. I love this shit. I'll scream it to the rooftops.
Painting stream.
I do. It's so cool.
Here's an idea for you. Private Patreon painting stream. Just chatting,
well, I mean,
chilling out.
If enough people want to see it, I'd do it for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get it about your community. Like, there you go. Law's already
on Patreon, so.
Law's already
I've already shared a bunch of fucking that sort of stuff on Patreon. Like, I shared all my like early like gaming montages, like some of my early gaming montages on there and stuff, like frag movies and shit like that. So, like,
yeah, I remember my first like starter set. I bought Tyranids because you get more in the box. Because you would like if I got like Space Marines, I'd get like 4. Whereas I think one of my mates was just like, just get like the Tyranids and you'd be sorted. And I'm like, why? And it's like, because you get like 15. I'm like, oh, I get a box of
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
some fucking like dinosaurs.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're like Velociraptors. That's all I've compared them to. I was like, fuck Velociraptors. Fuck yeah.
But like, all of that shit was just, I loved it. And like, you know, you get people outside the shops because they just don't understand what you're doing, but you just go in there and it's like a whole different world. You just,
it is. Yeah,
you're there with people that have like-minded ideas.
It's less smelly, like weird nerd now than it used to be as well.
Yeah, it used to be like,
it used to be very niche, and like people would think of it and associate it with like the smelly nerds that don't shower and all that sort of stuff. Whereas now, like, there's, you know, we went into Warhammer store like a month or 2 ago, and there's a bunch of like young lads in there that were fit as fuck, bro. And it's like,
have a look now.
They're playing Warhammer on the table in the store. Question may have been asked, most anticipated upcoming game for you in the next year. Beautiful Light is up there. But Marathon, the extraction shooter from Bungie, is really up there. I'm very, very, very very excited for that. Marathon from Bungie. Yeah, super excited. I really hope it goes well. Diz, really love the podcast. Great to get to know you. Defo, hop in on your streams in the future. I love you, Zed. Thanks, mate.
Such a troll, Zed.
Have a great dinner.
Right, I am going to have to jump. We've just had a few things happen here unexpectedly, so I'm going to have to sort that out. Everything's good, but it's just throwing a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
No, everything's good, but
All good.
hopefully I didn't miss anything too much. Were you guys still talking about Warhammer?
Oh, yeah, I think, just questions about Warhammer. All good, brother.
Right, you guys know you've seen the insides now. You know Coltz is a bit of a big old nerd. So if any of you do want to go and check him out, his Twitch should be in the bio. But if it isn't, it's here. What's your streaming schedule at the moment?
Every day bar Saturdays and Mondays, 2:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time till late. But I've been starting earlier last couple of days.
Okay. And you're currently playing Starfield.
Play Starfield. I'll go back to Valorant later in the week and some hardcore WoW.
So if any of you here don't follow Coltz, go and follow him. Go and show him some love. But Coltz, thank you for taking your time out of your evening and early hours of the morning.
Thanks for having me, bro. Yeah.
Coming and chilling, man. I cannot wait until the end of the year when we can jump in and have a chinwag face to face, man. It's gonna be good.
Oh, I'm so excited, brother. It's gonna be awesome, man. Yeah.
But everyone, thanks for joining us this evening. But thanks for joining us, man. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Mav, enjoy your lawn. Hope you guys enjoyed the AzzCast, and I will see you all tomorrow. And Coltz will see you all tomorrow as well. Have a good one. See you later. Peace. If you want to watch live and interact with our guests, exclusive behind the scenes access and discounts, then head on over to patreon.com/AzzieUK. Thanks for watching, guys.